Hey guys, Echo25
and Archer9234.
With episode 119 of Major Review. Today we have the Power Rangers in Space, the Quadroblaster, and the Astro Blaster, aka the multi-attack rifle, and the Mega Sniper from Dungeon Sentai Mega Rangers. So now we have the Astro Blaster, one of the main weapons that the Rangers use to fight evil. So what you do is that you take the gun, you press the button.
I have a personal complaint to this because it sounds like they just used a sound effect from a phone. It doesn't sound like a gun whatsoever.
Now you also pull out the other side, so you just pull it out, and now you just press the little pistol on the handle. Now there's another pistol.
In Space and Mega Ranger are one of the few shows that actually have two weapons. The only other show that they really did that was in Zeo with the Zeo laser pistol.
Yeah, so pretty much is this. You can still do this, but it's the same sound or different. So also another thing that you get inside the sniper is the logo for the Power Rangers in Space / Mega Ranger. Now also you include the belt, which you can put it on, but sadly this is just for kids, so it won't fit on adults. Another thing that you get inside is the holder. So you mainly must just put it on here and you just clip it to the side of your belt and whatnot.
You can use it on your ordinary belt, or you can use it on the belt supplied. Now, another accessory that the Mega Rangers came with was this special button. I think this is where they got the idea from later on in Lost Galaxy, where they had almost the majority of the toys do have the same button design as well.
So now we have one of the weapons for the Quadroblaster, the Lunar Lance. This is Carlos's weapon. Mainly much is just a lance, but the back has a little C shape, kind of
maybe with Moon. That's where it got its name.
The Lunar. From. That's why it's called Lunar. The thing, that's it. It's just mainly much like a little staff-like kind of thing.
Unfortunately, it doesn't extend out to make it a little longer.
Sadly, it's an decent size for a little kid, but for an adult, you can tell.
And it has no sound effects.
It has a little symbol right here for the In Space / Mega Ranger, which is cool. Alright, so now we have TJ's weapon, the Astro Axe. Mainly much is it's just an axe. This is actually the second time I actually use an axe as a weapon. The first time was in Mighty Morphin.
And it has a similar shape to it.
It really does. Of course, has now both sides has the little email symbol. That okay size, doesn't do much either.
No sound effects.
No sound effects. Holding it right now is nice. If they extended it a bit more longer and made it a bit bigger, it'll be better.
Now this is safety rubber for just in case the kids want to bash each other, so
it won't hurt. Because in the axe, you're supposed to hammer things down, but this one doesn't. So now we have Ashley's weapon, the Slot Slinger. Sadly, it doesn't fire.
Sling. It's very similar in design with the Thunder Slinger from Jew Rangers, but that one actually works. This one, unfortunately, doesn't do anything.
So you can't really do much. The only thing you can do is this, but it's for the transformation later on. But you can't even pull.
It doesn't even look right because it doesn't even have like a front design.
Yeah,
something that looks
front,
like.
It looks in the show that should show like a little small front design. This one doesn't, and it's made of rubber, so you can't really pretend. I wish it had a little spring feature where you could just open it back and these things pop up, but it doesn't really do much. For a size, it's okay, decent. But if it was bigger right here, it's okay. The holder, it's not bad. So now we have Cassie's weapon, the Satellite Stunner. This is mainly much like a satellite looking kind of weapon. It is like a dish, and it's supposed to fire. Now this one, it's okay. The dish size is actually a really nice size.
The handle's a little bit too small.
But the handle, it's kind of small. You can actually see that it's not really that.
It kind of reminds me of actually a Star Trek Hypo Spray. Actually, it has a similar shape to it. Now, unfortunately, putting on this disc and taking it off for storage is extremely difficult. You can't break it because it's made out of safety rubber, so it won't break, but it's a pain in the butt to take off.
So if you put it on once, just leave it on. Just don't bother taking it off. So now we have the Lunar Lance combo. Now this time, all the Quadroblasters can combine with the Astro Blaster. But sadly,
it doesn't do any sound effect difference.
Same sound, no sound alteration, no nothing, which is kind of sad. This time, just mainly much the weapon will be in the middle, and now the second pistol will be on top of it.
Now, when the weapons are in their separated mode, they are really ridiculously small, but when you have them in the Quadroblaster combination, they actually look decent this way.
They actually look better too. Like right now, I actually like how the Lunar lance with the Quadroblaster looks like. It looks pretty cool. Overall, this is actually a nice design for it. It looks nice, even though now that it doesn't look that small, it looks pretty decent. Sadly, there's no changes in sound effects. So now we have the Astro Blaster with the Astro Axe. This one looks pretty weird now because the axe is now facing the bottom. It's okay to stand like this now.
Same sound effect, unfortunately.
It's a nice little thing. Yeah, I like the motif of the whole design because the blue and the blue are actually similar, so they kind of combine looking, so you can't really tell if they were separate or not because the color scheme is the same thing. So now we have Slinger's combination.
Same exact sound effects, unfortunately.
Now this one is actually a bit different because now there's more on the back more than in the front compared to the other two, but...
And it's the only one that actually has the nozzle for the main gun to be out.
So now we have the satellite stunner in the Astro Blaster. Now this one looks much more interesting because in the front you can see it's two little pistol looking things. On the side it's decent.
I particularly like this mode out of all the other ones because it seems the most realistic for some particular reason.
As for like a per se a gun ray, yes it does look more realistic.
Same exact sound effect.
Sadly there's no sound effect changes. So now we have the combination mode, the Quadroblaster. This is actually one of the weapons a lot of times in space that I actually used regardless. And it's
one of the few weapons that don't combine with the Red Ranger's weapon.
This is actually the first time we had a weapon that doesn't combine with the main Red Ranger. Now in this mode, there's no sound effects, no nothing, but all of them do combine pretty neatly.
When you put it the proper way, it's actually very solid, it won't fall apart.
It's really nice looking. If you look at it, you can still see the chrome, the nice little silver chrome on it, and you also see the stickers for each of the Rangers on the email. The only downsides to this is that there's no... It looks nice like this, but I wish it was a bit longer and there was at least maybe a sound effect or maybe a little button you can push to, you know, push this out or something like that to have a little cocking action. Now, alteration-wise, not much was changed in this in-space toy line. For the Astro Blaster, the main difference was the whole Mega Ranger logo was taken to put Power Rangers on. The chrome and the sticker was kept. The sounds are still the same. No sound difference. We did include the holder, and we also included the little button kind of thing. But instead, it says Power Rangers in space instead of just showing all 5 of the Rangers instead.
Yeah, I could have kept that picture. I don't understand why. And we also got the Mega Ranger belt emblem. But we didn't get the included belt with the Mega Sniper. Since the belt wasn't included, the clips for the holster and buckle were opened up.
During next year, Bandai reissued the Astro Blaster, but instead it was green instead of blue. They did keep the holster, but the sticker was not.
And the M logo also lost its chrome, and they changed the button to the Lost Galaxy one they used in the line. But the same kind of chrome and everything was basically the same.
So the Quadroblaster, there were 2 changes. Of course, you guys know that pink is, of course, is a girl color, and most of the time, Bandai doesn't incorporate a girl color into a toy. Hence why the first version of the Quadroblaster, the pink was instead red, because this is actually the first time we never combined with a Red Ranger. Now, of course, the second release, which is the corrected version, was later on released near the end of the series and it was much more harder to find, so that's the only difference. Overall, they're still the same. They kept the chrome, they kept the stickers, everything was kept. The only downside is that the box was huge.
Yes, the multi-attack rifle set for Mega Ranger was much more compact. It had like the satellite stunner's dish underneath the weapon so that it could save more space, while the Quadroblaster box is like twice the size of it, and it even has an empty area that's just nothing.
Overall, the weapons for both the Quadroblaster and the Astro Blaster, they're pretty good. I like how they were still unchanged. Just a sticker and a few other things, which is really minor. But like I said, the Quadroblaster is something that I would say try to get the pink one because it's much more better and
it's so accurate.
So accurate. I don't really like the red in the Quadroblaster because it looks weird when you see it in the show. It's pink, not red.
Now, if you're wondering why the Spiral Saber wasn't released in America, unfortunately, it violated certain rules with toys, so that's the reason why it never came out. However, it was released in Japan, but it's very expensive and very rare. That's the reason why we never got the set.
And by far, both of these are pretty cool. Get the Astro Blaster in the American version or Japanese, whichever one you feel like it.
But I do suggest get the Astro Blaster and the Quadroblaster. If you have one or the other, it's not really enjoyable. You'd rather have both sets.
It's also one of those things where, like a Megazord, you have to have the Delta Squad Megazord with the Deca Bike Robo. If you just have the Deca Bike Robo, you're really much doing nothing. Same thing with the Dragon Zord with the Megazord. You need the Megazord and the Dragon Zord to combine. So yeah, that's it for our review of the Astro Blaster and the Quadroblaster. Join us next week for the Power Engine in Space, the Astro Megazord. Here comes Scrapman. We'll see you next week. Hey guys, I'm Good 25
and Archer 9234.
But episode 190 of Ninja Review. Today we have the Power Engine Space, the Astro Blaster, aka the Mega Sniper, and the Quadroblaster, aka the Multi-Attack Rifle from. Oh my god.
Not Samurai Sentai Shiki.
I was gonna say Seiju Sentai.
No, that's the series after Mega Rangers. But...
now they have a holder. It includes a holder, and what you do. Oh god.
But that's why I was like, why did you go to the holder? You should just went to the gun, then talk about the accessories. Wait, it's still wiggling. Wait until it stops.
Stop, I said, okay.